we felt like at some point, as my colleagues has mentioned, all of us has been trying to get recognitions for our suffering and to bring justice for our people and calling the international community to recognize our suffering and to support us to be able to overcome from this genocide. But in the past 10 years of my activism, and a lot of the time I felt like our voice wasn't heard, our asks were unanswered, our our calls were dismissed, and finally this is a big relief. And just one last point, I was just reading messages from my colleagues in Rakhine and Bangladesh, the women that I work with. They said that we are crying and now we feel like we can breathe. This means a lot.
Thank you so much for each of your reflections on this. I think it is sobering that it has taken so many years. And as an institution, we really do think it is critically important that when these crimes happen, they are documented, they are called out, and action is taken to stop them. Today, you mentioned your colleagues in Rakhine. There are over 600,000 Rohingya who remain in Rakhine. They continue to face a risk of genocide. There are close to 1 million Rohingya who live as refugees in Bangladesh and elsewhere, who fled different waves of violence. They can't return home because there is a risk of genocide. So often when we talk about genocide determinations, the focus is on getting the determination as though that is the end goal. And the reality, as you have said, is that is a recognition of your suffering. That is there to help establish a historical record. That is there to prevent genocide denial. That should be there as a signal to perpetrators that they must cease their attacks, that they will be held accountable. Today is one stop along a long journey, but one in which we have to see a real redoubling of efforts. For each of you, given the realities today, what needs to happen next? What does the world need to know in order to protect your community going forward? Maybe I'll start with you, Tunkan.
First thing, it is very important a step forward for justice and accountability. When we've been suffering so long, like especially